Saturday at 6:40 a.m. and I'm going to work to lower the mast on the Tanzer 22. I found that the shrouds were not appropriately seized to the spreaders, and I need to figure out why the masthead light doesn't light up. So let's go ahead and give that a go. Hopefully I can get this down and maybe back up today, but I've never done this before, so see what happens. Removing the boom, I'd much rather just lift this gooseneck right out, but on this boat they enclosed it. It used to be a bolt rope that ran through the slot on the mast, and they've switched that out to slugs, but in doing so they put this cover on the bolt rope access slot. I guess I could pull this off, but removing this bolt to remove the gooseneck is, or remove the boom rather, is easy enough. So let's go ahead and do that. I'm going to secure all these halyards to the mast, and then I think I'll go around and mark where all the turnbuckles are on all the shrouds and stays. Okay, the plan is to use the jib halyard, which is right here, and hook that up as a levering arm to lower it backward. So. I've got to go around to all the shrouds, all the turnbuckles, and mark off where they sit now. Also, I've got to release all of the split pins or cotter pins that are available. In these times of social distancing, you got to do what you got to do. So I'm gonna have my breakfast now. I've got this length of double braid nylon for a sailing dinghy, little 14-footer that my friend has, and thought I'd go ahead and put to use instead of buying some more here. So I'm going to go ahead and attach it to the jib halyard, and then run it up through that block right there, and then forward, or aft, I should say. And we've got this line, we got cleated off, we've got it up around the winch here, and it goes forward around that block, which is secured to the stem head, and then up to the masthead via the jib halyard. Okay, let's go ahead and loosen up the rear backstay first, and then we'll get to the shrouds. That was pretty easy right there, that's good. So it's the lower part. I've never done this before, so anyways, it's the lower part of the turnbuckle that is righty tighty, lefty loosey. This is opposite threads. Okay, so now let's see what we gotta do to get in there. Okay, so I've got this little one here, and if you guys know what is used for this normally, please let me know, because I don't know. So this is going to be turned off. There we go. Hold this. there really isn't much pressure on this Allen wrench, so that's good. Okay, we'll just do that. Let's see. It's a lot looser now. It's not crazy loose, but it's looser. So, okay, let's do that for the others. This is opposite. It's the upper pin here is the one that is right-hand threaded. Down below here, it's left-hand threaded. I've got some rags I'm gonna put on here to help bumper that stuff. Maybe this rear, because this is the way it's gonna come. So maybe this one should be tight to kind of force it to come this way. Let me tighten this up some. All right, so let's go ahead and let this out a little bit and see what happens. Seems like it doesn't really want to come down this way. Well, I'm an idiot because after all that prep and such, you see the mast is down. I videotaped none of it. Just didn't even consider putting start pushing the button to start video roll. It went down relatively easy, but here is something. I totally bent those chain plates, and the problem was that I had those shrouds loosened, but because it pivots behind the center of the mast, it pivots on this bolt over here. I don't know if you could see that or not. Because it pivots there, it lifted the mast essentially up a little bit. And as it was coming back, there was too much tension on these, and I bent both of them before I knew what was happening. So I think that it'll be fine to bend them back. you know, it's just this, it wasn't like they were flopping back and forth, but I have to do that. Furthermore, in all my prep work, I didn't actually disconnect the electrical. So while it was coming back, which isn't a real big deal, but the connection at this end just popped off completely. So I'm wondering if I should just replace this electrical wire or not, but there are, of course, nothing's easy. So if I do that, I've got to do some solder work and such on the other end, and I don't have any electric here, and I don't have any soldering equipment here. But the mast is down, and the masthead, though green, looks okay. Everything spins pretty well. All the block here, everything seems to be okay. The shrouds, the stays all are nice. I don't have any problem with any of that stuff, which is good. I don't like the fact that they used a plastic thimble for the top of the halyard sheave, but c'est la vie, seems to be holding up okay. And they put this stuff around. I guess I'm gonna have to rewrap that. I suppose that's what I'll have to do that, because that's rotten at this point. But yeah, everything else seems to be okay. Maybe I'll redo this too. That's the main halyard right there. But I was wondering if I could just do all rope, but of course I can't. I don't know if you can see in there or not, but those sheaves are only for wire and wire only. So we got that, but you know, this is what it is. I'm gonna, except for maybe seizing these lines again, seizing that thimble in, I think that I am simply going to focus on the electric and get the shrouds seized in. Here, and I'll show you what. This is what they use to seize the shroud to the spreader. This is why I brought the mast down. And it's in this kind of shape too. I don't know if people do that or not, but it just seems to me that you should be using seizing wire and not like wax twine or whatever this is here. So I'm going to use some twine and get that done proper, and get this electrical taken care of, get this light working again, and then go from there.